This is very much a creative mode type of video. I'm starting at Dismal Downs at the MacDuck Castle. Originally, when you come into this area, the entrance at the doors of the castle will be blocked by some type of probably wooden or other blocks. And you need to be where the command blocks somewhere can detect that you are crossing this area about in this location. I tried to find command blocks that in older versions of Minecraft would have removed the blocks that fill this entrance. And at this excavation that I have done, I did not find any. That led me to believe that the removal of blocks to open up the entry to the castle was being controlled by command center, command blocks somewhere distant from here. To this area, there will be another video that explored this area. This area required that the player hover over the picture and then hit or press on the buttons BAG as clued by the picture. But I am not doing that today. I'm going to the one adjacent to it, and I have done some deconstruction very carefully. I got to this open area at some point in time by pressing this particular button. At the right point in time, this button will open this wall, which is filled with blocks, to stairs and a hallway. Then another hall, and eventually the floor will open, and you will drop down to where you can access through still another hall or two the Templar Vault to get to a chest that contains the Deus Excalibur. Also note that this wall is made of green concrete powder blocks, and they collapse like sand. So let me go higher up. And when I was excavating what I wanted to see, I found this happening. So I had to do some rethinking, and there are things that you have to be very careful about if you fool around in creative mode like I do with games, worlds, or packs that are designed to be done in adventure or survival mode. But what I want you also to see here are these command blocks, and this one is test block, the specific location coordinates, concrete powder, and this one is a whole new ball game. Function Ducktales /game/ Dismal Secret Passage 1. So let's follow down this hallway. I have added some extra lighting here. There are several buttons in this area that do not work, and I will click on one of this one. This button doesn't seem to do anything. Well, where is the command block that commands what this does? In previous games, worlds, or packs, or maps in Minecraft, the direct command would be found within the block itself by right-clicking on the block itself. However, with these programming codes, we now have function Ducktales /game/ Dismal Secret Passages fake. And so to get the actual command of what this command does and the actual dialogue for the command is not possible from this command block. There is either a chain of command blocks, as in the game Trucks by Razzleberries, or there is a file that has the dialogue somewhere that I have not yet found. Now here, When one enters this hallway and walks down the hall, all of a sudden the floor ahead collapses. So I did some careful picking away here, and I found set block about -3, about air. So that programmed for these blocks to collapse. And I will come down here. I have added lighting, and then I found a chamber here with a blocked entrance. In this case, I wanted to see what was controlling and would make the closed wall open. And so we have test for block, coordinates, wooden pressure plate 1. Well, we have that. There's a pressure plate. Test for block 163961210, quartz block 0. This is a quartz block, and it's probably that quartz block. And then we have, function Ducktales, game, Dismal, vault door. That's all you can get from here. And there is similar programming in these command blocks for this. If you get to this point and this door is sealed up with its original blocks, you must step on first on one of the required blocks, and then on the other, and then this previously filled area will open up and you can enter into here. I have added sea lanterns to give lighting to make this much more user-friendly and visible in order to post my own video. And in this chest is the Deus Ex Caliber. Another block that I found, collect the golden coins. They're golden coins to run all over the place to collect. And then you will have all these riches to go to the money vault, the money bin building, to the deposit room, not the money vault, the deposit room, to place these coins into the chest there. For this video, what I'm interested in is this command block that says set block 510-111-512 redstone block. Notice my coordinates here, 1518-108-1214. And here is an example of where I knew that there was probably a chamber of command blocks somewhere else. And this somewhere else is 550-11512. In that area where a redstone block activates the command that released all these floating gold coins that we just saw. I am now standing on about 550-10513. I am looking north, so looking into this stone is probably where the redstone block gets placed to activate some of this line of blocks. Set block stone. That probably happens after whatever job is done. Scoreboard players test active race for riches. Scoreboard players set ID race for riches. This has something to do with what we just looked at. Let's look at the topmost one. Function Ducktales race for riches already running. So that gives you an example of how I found this chamber. If you find this chamber, Be sure that you save any world that you are in that you want to keep and you do not want it to be destroyed or to become malfunctioning. Save that and open a new world. Come to here for exploring, and that way if you actually really break some of these blocks or destroy something, you will still have your original world. There are many things to see in here. Notice that I have done a fill command to replace the dark ceiling blocks with sea lantern blocks to create more light. I have used redstone lamp blocks around a redstone block in some of the walls to give more light. Even that was very insufficient light and still very dark, so I am now in night vision. And in night vision, of course, you have those blue circular curlicue patterns that keep floating around and are quite distracting. I am showing this so that you have an idea of what to explore. There are labels on some of these things that go along with what the command blocks are associated with. These are items. There are signs that explain somewhat what these are intended to do. If you were a developer, this would help you know where to go to look for what you're working on or what you need to fix if something is going wrong. Of note is also this other room, which is better lit. It's got end rods with trapdoors to create nice lighting. It's got some additional sea lantern lighting around the edges. Notice this area has a map reset. I would not fool with this in any world that you are currently working on that you want to keep. I have experimented with this in a world that I had saved. In that particular world, I had spent a lot of time creating a map wall, which is pretty extensive, very extensive. It's well over 100 maps for the areas involved in this particular world or game or map or pack. Unfortunately, Minecraft has various terminology that all mean the same thing, and sometimes the same word actually means different things, like a map can be a map, an exploratory map, a locator map, or it can actually be an entire program for an entire world, such as Ducktales. I'm just showing this here so you can look at them and maybe have an idea if this is something you would want to explore. Many people would not. Now here is interesting for the game. Sunchaser Hub, Sunchaser Vulture, Iron Vulture. So there are command blocks associated with those. The desert has a set of command blocks for the pyramid, the dungeon, and the desert itself. The rocket base is probably the rocket testing area for the Spear of Selene. The White Agony Plains has a pond cave, cave entrance, White Agony. Never Rest has a summit, Bunny Rock, Never Rest itself. Dismal Downs. Perhaps that spelling is a European version of English for the word dismal. In English, in the United States, it's D-I-S-M-A-L. Dismal Downs has a vault, a castle, General Dismal Downs. Ithaquack has the temple, Selene Garden. Duckburg has various areas of town, the lighthouse, junkyard, the archives, the map start, Fun Zone, the manor, the money bin, the theater, which is probably the amphitheater, and in the previous output teleported Steve to these coordinates that are listed up here. There is no Steve that is played in my game, and usually regular users are not expected to be exploring down here in these command vault types of chambers. So that is probably a programmer that was working on developing the game, and it recorded the last known time that Steve tried that particular block somewhere and got teleported. And here you can see, I'm coming back here, even with the extra lighting that I created without night vision, how dark this is. And if I wanted to really explore and go from the intended location for the command to happen and come back to find a command block that makes what happened at that particular location, that would be very hard to do with this level of light. So I am going to come back down here and come up on the steps, come back to the reset area where I have nice lighting, say goodbye, thanks for watching.